understand the propaganda, the limitative obstinance. You guys are still doing manipulations and stuff like that. Honor, trust, honor, and character. Okay, trust, honor, and character works a hell of a lot better than manipulation. I understand you got other manipulators. We're working with manipulators. They do understand that manipulated relationships are less desirable and very unintelligent. It's better to have, the whole sexual predator thing too. Well, like I told Courtney Gilbert, we're all sexual predators. Yeah, you get dressed up. I mean, you're all ready to go out. She was sitting there talking about what a bunch of perverts we guys are, and we had this girl, Angel, we work with really hot, and she's like, I loved it. And we're all like, you sound just like us. You're just like us guys. We'd all love to do those with Angel. Well, me and Angel, no, it was different. She's like a daughter to me. It's not that she's hot as heck. She's sweet. She's special. I mean, if I was a younger guy, I'd been like, Angel, be my angel, please. Lex, be my Lex. I would have been like, whoa. And I told them that. And I see that they're women, and I'm, Lex, I love you. You're such a brat. Don't ever, no, you can. No, when I get married, don't ever do that again. Being single, that's a beautiful woman to see, and and whoever gets you is one lucky guy. Extraordinary lucky guy. Same with Angel. Extremely lucky guy. Shut up. I saw Stephanie like twice at the store and once on that picture, and I'm naked under these clothes. I'm like, thanks, Stephanie, you are a brat. We all know that. Yeah, and we don't want to have to visualize that. Especially me. You're definitely naked under those clothes, and then that's a special thing. But you guys get it? I mean, it's hard. I mean, shut up. Okay, guys. We're going to go through a lot of sexuality and a lot of manipulation of sexuality today. It's a very important topic. We're still going through it. It's what you guys have used to manipulate this heaven and this hell. Somebody's top student's gotten through it really good in class. He explains it real well. And he's pretty good with this whole sexuality thing. He volunteered to work his way through it and help you guys through it. And wow, he's a special little guy. I'm not little, I'm average. Okay. I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it. No. There's a woman, every woman has different preference in size and shape and things that she likes from a man, and she likes her man and prefers her man. And like Haile Selassie said, only a whore can compare your penis to another man's penis. So if your feelings are hurt because a whore is comparing you to other men's penises, then just consider the source. And don't feel hurt about it. Just realize that you've just been compared by a whore, and whoever gets her is going to be the biggest fill-up for the whore. She just doesn't get enough. She hasn't have enough. It's just not big enough. She needs to find the biggest one to shut her up. That's how she is. I'm looking for that biggest dick. If that's all that's important to her is the size of a man's penis, then that's all that she can think about, and that's about as far as she goes. And you really don't want to go anywhere with that and stuff like that. If all you needed was a big penis to accommodate her, the next big penis that comes along will take care of her. If she loves a real man, she loves him for who he is, what he is, and it's all about him and her and that spiritual connection. It's a holy covenant, as the Messiah Jesus explained it to us. This is Haile Selassie. This is his intelligence. This is his sword. Do not cross him. He will mess you up. He's very beautiful. He's very amazing. You have no idea unless you're spiritually connected to him. And if you have, and you come back and say, oh, he said some bullshit. By the way you talk, he'd have kicked your ass. You weren't talking to Haile Selassie, you were talking to yourself. Now, Haile Selassie, when you talk about segregation, you talk about this, you're crystallizing him, making him into the God incarnate in the whole 9 yards, and you don't see the oneness of God like Martin Yates does, and that he's explaining that to us. Martin Yates is a closer similitude of him, and he sliced you in half, and Haile would have sliced you in half, maybe if not even harder, because he's got more experience and more wisdom in his body and time and service as being the Messiah, and you don't want to mess with him. So no, you're not talking to Haile Selassie, because he'd tear you apart, just like I just did, and just like Martin would. Martin does it in a nicer way. I'm older. I've got more time in service. I've had my ass kicked more and stuff like that, and I have this, and he says, you're the one in the lead right now, you're the one in charge, but I'm 46, there are other men older than me. It's your similitude. You're a similitude of your Uncle Jesus. Go get him. You're a similitude of your Uncle John, your Uncle Saladin. You are a sword. Go cut. And you shall slice, and they shall be forged new heads, and they will have circumcised hearts, and you will slice, and you will cut, and you will dice. You are the sword. You are here to turn liar against truth. You are here to turn truth against lie. You are here to overturn it, overturn their markets, create loving markets, create rationality, create balance, create the heavenly kingdom here on earth. You are the sword. You are the one. Go, Ralph. Go do what you got to do. You see why the ones that speak to you in the future admire you so much? That hideous quagmire? But they're so beautiful, man. The one in the future is so special. He's way more special than me because he's standing on our shoulders. And you in this hideous cesspool, because of your shoulders. Aha! Because of Jah. Aha! It can be taught. It's hard. I understand. You're in a quagmire. And you're holding my head above the swamp. No, it's Jah. I'm just a part of it. It's just a link in the chain, just another feet upon the shoulders of Muhammad, of Jesus, of Moses, of Hud, of our prophets, of Solomon, of our arks. Without the Grail, and we don't honor her equally and see her in equal standing to her man, then you are lost. For if you don't look across from you and see your woman, when you're making love to her, you're not looking her in the eye. When you marry her, do you not take each other by hand and complete the perfect circle and make this into a holy union? Is she not your equal in every way? Not in every way physically, but spiritually. How can she be any less of a spirit and any more of a spirit than you when we're all created by Jah and it's omnipresent, omnipotent? If you understand the perfection and the omnipotence of God, then she's no more than you and no less than you, but she is God's perfect gift to you in many ways. She's flawed, but her flaw is what will make you see the perfection of Jah. It's beautiful. I mean, he's just amazing. His math is just beautiful, and you're intoxicated by him. And he sits there, and you sit, and you listen. And it's a muse, and that's why a lot of people muse. That's why the as Yusuf Islam group muses, and they muse, and this man muses about the beauty of it, and muses and muses. But the prophet and the Messiah doesn't have time to muse. He does at certain points, but then when business got to be done and we got the farm to save and we got to take on all this stuff, he's got to go do it. David wants to muse, he's got to go take on the Philistines. David wants to muse, he's got to go defend everybody from being eunuched and taken as sex slaves by Goliath. David wants to muse, but he can't. David wants to, but Saul and his guys are making deals with other guys, and they're stealing all our wives and run over there, so he's got to go kill these guys to get the kids back and get that and make sure that the kids and the women are fine and make sure the men aren't being eunuched, and he's got a lot to do. He wants to stay amused. He wants to listen to his court singer sing the prayers. He wants to just love his wife. He wants to take these women that are seen as whores, that were concubines, and let them be wives like Abner's wife was. Your president, spiritually, is a very special man. Abner is one of the most special men in the Gospels. Him and his wife get together. He marries a concubine, a whore, and turns her into a first wife because she deserves it, because it wasn't of her choosing. She was forced into this situation. He sees how special she is. She's one of the most special women in the scriptures, and so is he. It's described in just a little certain blurb in the Gospels about how he marries this or something like that, but it's just, and that's it. And this is the woman that came to David after Abner was killed. And they prayed for this day to come when the two of them would be united. You would see her arms wrapped around him and her so happy and keeping each other protected and safe. You won't understand them and they won't understand you at first. But once the gospel's been restored and revealed, she's going to love you the same way she loved you that night. And if your prayer was fulfilled, she's with him. She's with the spirit of Abner, just as you both wished. And you both sat and wept. I mean, and when you meet Sedalia again, that weeping to be reunited and have this reunited of the family and to have their Absalom back. And they did. And she only had him for a short time, but she carries him spiritually for all time. And he gives her that smile. And he gives her that smile. Yeah. Every day. She thinks of that smile. And she remembers, only a daughter give me a smile like that. That's my daddy. And he lives in me. My dad, the musical messenger, the King of Kings. Bob Marley, yes. Bob Marley. I told you guys that in the parable. Who's the most like Jesus in our time? Well, the one that I've seen and I'm seeing in the room right now is Bob Marley. Robert Nesta Marley, yeah, the pothead. I could just, the one guy saying that too. I could see the 12 apostles all smoking up his yeah, if he knew how thick you guys all were. Jesus would be like, pass the blunt. Here we go. All right, man, how you feeling? Pretty irie, man. Let's go talk to the people. I don't need it. All I need is my wife, my kids, some food, some music, some family, and then finding out scientifically what's going on, get the Shadrachs and Meshachs and the Abednegos and all these guys and get together. Where do we need to move the people from here to there to this to that to that? How do we keep the people safe? How do we feed the people? How do we educate people not to overpopulate and how not to discriminate? How do we do this? How do we reach? How do we reach? How do we reach? Let's keep reaching. Let's keep loving. Let's keep building. Let's keep building true faith. Let's keep better math skills for these children. Better math skills for these children. Taught not what to think, but give them tools how to think. Learn, relearn, and learn, unlearn, and relearn. Explain, understand, all things are changing. This may be good today, not good tomorrow. Basic Rasta. But today is healthy for you, tomorrow's no healthy no more. Body's building immunity. It's changed. It's this. What's next? What's this? I love you. It's beautiful. Gosh, I didn't think I was going to be filling this Rasta today, but he came in and here he comes. I love when the Messiah comes to visit. It's a spiritual connective prayer. He sits there and he prays. A lot of those pictures you have of him praying on a bed and praying in a coat, he's connecting and he's checking past the first future. And when the worst ones we have to ask is the future, because we want it to be open to flux and to change. And then when it gets to the point where it seems like it's pretty much a sedentary thing where they're gonna go, then we have to ask, what do I want to hear it? No. And then the whole thing with Daniel laying on the ground, fetal position. Fear not, but they're gonna kill. There's gonna be the Holocaust. There's gonna be Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the Spanish influenza, the putting AIDS into the thing, the oil wars, the drones, the cars, the diverse beasts, the wars over the Frankenstein wars, which is the diverse beasts, the cars, the bars, the drones, the wars, all this stuff. Fear not. After my uncle is revealed on June 9th, 1,290 days afterwards, they will get together and there will be a large get-together to stop it. Then 45 days later, we'll have some certain things that we got to deal with, but we'll move and we'll shift and we'll tear the people what's going on, and then it will be a full completion because they'll sit there and go, this fulfills prophecy. A lot of people will say it was manipulated, but they'll explain this was manipulated over 4,000 years of planetary systematic destruction because of lack of balance, lack of intelligence, lack of reason, and fear are taking over. That's why Gabe keeps telling them, fear not! Because fear leads to unreason and unrest and unbalance. Don't be afraid for your physical life. It's your spiritual life and not seeing the life of God in all people. That is your true death. Now move the people here, move the people there, do the best we can, do what we can, and we'll get through this, and we'll fix it. Use your harps to help us. Use your technology to help us. Stop using it to manipulate and control. Use it to spread the truth and intelligence. Show the real gospel. Show the real science. Show the man for who he is. Hi, I'm your Messiah. How are you doing? I'm him. I'm the one most like my Uncle Jesus. It's just the way it is. It's basic science and math. We're not trying to trick anybody. We're just showing you, oh, well, they're tricking a program. No, I also have the math. I can just sit there and make you look like a stupid idiot with everything you say. Because everything you say is mathematically imperfect and illogical. 2 and 2 is 17. Really? And how do you get that? Well, I'm going to show you. And as you're sitting there explaining it to all the people that believe that you're somewhat right and the variables are changing every 10 seconds because it's doing it to shoot you, the rest of us will go, 2 and 2 is 4, right? Yeah, okay. Let's go fix this. Move these people over here. Take them out of extortion. Stop pumping the lubricant back in. Is that getting reorganized? Introduce it back in the problem. I want lubricant back in the Middle East as soon as fucking possible. This isn't a request. This is a fucking order. Go do it now. You gotta get that way sometimes. It's like telling your kids, like Noah, boom, you'll stop peeing in bottles, you'll pee in the bathroom across the street. I don't know how many times you watch Dumb and Dumber. I think it's funny too. And you will not try to light fires in your windowsill because it can set the whole house on fire. This is not negotiable. Okay, Dad. And he stopped. You understand? Sometimes you gotta be like that, and that's where I want it. Stop killing each other. Stop lying. Stop manipulating. Be honest. If you're going to have debates over guns and you're not going to stop your cars, just take your gun, don't have any gun control, put it in your mouth, boom, and then start parking the fucking cars. And the bars and roads and drones and bullshit. Do you understand me? Tell what you're doing with the manipulation of the machines, with the Wi-Fi signals, with the chipping, and with the food. Get that stuff out, then you won't have to worry about guns. Guns is a non-topic. It just will be, what? We don't need guns. We're honest with each other and we can protect each other from ourselves. Some people need them. Some people are still irrational. We understand this, but we have the mechanisms and components to keep an eye on them to help protect ourselves from being too irrational and crazy programs that we couldn't obviously write because they were too far gone. But we'll work with them, and then when they transfigure and reconfigure back in, it'll be a better conditions, better setting, better organically, less drugging, less manipulation, less damage to them. Understood? All right, let's move forward. Okay. Have Miss Lopez brought to me. I'd like to talk to her. I'm kidding. No, I mean, if she wants to show up and talk, I'd love to hang out and talk. I'd love to talk to you, the rest of you too. I really want to meet you too, Will and Jada and the kids. I really do. I've had strong connections with you. I really like your kids, and I really want to meet them and stuff like that. Now, I can't handle meeting Trey's mama. She's too fine. she makes me nervous. I cocker myself. I got kind of a crush on her. I don't know why. There's just something special about that woman. Trey, your mom, I like your mom. But it's cool. No, it's not like that. I mean, you know how special your mom is. I agree too. That's something special. It's weird. No, it's cool. No, I'm not. She got a boyfriend. I'm just complimenting. I'm not saying I'm sleeping with anybody. I'm sleeping with my dog and 3 cats. You guys have it on video. I'm explaining to you what's going on. The 3 cats are, one's at my feet, one's on my leg, and one's up by the pillow. The dog's wanting to come up, but he won't come up till morning after all the cats get off. Yep, it's cool. Okay, good. I gotta go. This is weird. It's very weird, but this is an abstract connection. You guys talk about some weird shit. But I love you. It's fun. It's very personal. Like, I have no personal life. I'd like a personal life return. So when we have these things, we'll talk about just general things that are needed to keep balancing the planet, keep understanding, talk to each other, help each other through tangible, practical, applicable solutions and math problems and equations, and just working through things, and how right it is to love someone, how good it is to love someone, how right it is to care, how long it's been since yesterday, what about tomorrow, what about our plans, and what about our memories that we shared. Poems and prayers and promises. All right, guys? John Denver, he's pretty cool, ain't he? All right, blessings and peace.